everyone, it's Roslyn here, just another crazy crafter. Today I'm going to try to do some of these little perfume bottles that they're not to be used as perfume bottles. They tend to be made for shakers because when you've done them, you fill them with a little bit of baby oil and some water and put your glitters in or whatever you want to look like snow. But today I'm just going to make them just because I want little perfume bottles. So I've put two of them together, number 1 and number 2. Now these bits come in 2 parts which you clamp together. Then they've both got an insert, so you fill them up with 2/3 of UV resin, and then you put the insert in and you cure it. And then they've got the little base which you cure and then you put into the base of the bottle, and then a tiny little lid. Now these lids have got little diamond shaped things that you can actually put on the top of them, like so, or you could possibly use your own things, like I've got little flowers that I can stick to them, whoops-a-daisy, or I've got a tray here where I can make cats, little bows, little stars, little flowers, or anything like that, which you'd stick to the little top with UV resin. Right, I'm going to make a start. So I'm going to put some UV resin in my little pot, and I'll just put you down so you can see what's going on, hopefully. Hi again everyone, I'm back. Right, I'm going to do the biggest one. I'm going to do number 1. It's just a straightforward roundish one, and I'm going to put some blue in the UV resin. Yeah, that's definitely blue. Put a couple of drops in. Right, I'm going to put you down so that you can see what I'm doing. Right, now I need to give that a bit of a stir. I probably haven't got enough in here, but it's easy enough to make some more up again. I did do the number 2 one earlier, but it didn't quite work out. There it is, and I've put one of my flower beads on top. The bottom decided to pop out at one side, so it's a bit wonky, and I've got a bit of trimming to do. But not bad for my first attempt, I suppose. And I think because I'd put like a metallic ink in, it took an awful long time to cure. So I won't be using the metallics on it again. I'll just stick to the normal coloured inks. Oh, there's a hair. I don't want to get a hair anywhere near it. So here I go. Fingers crossed I don't have to make too much up. Let's see how we go. Right, I definitely need a little bit more, but I'm going to have to be careful because I did do a little bit too much last time. I mean, that is not far off 2/3. So I'll just stick another little bit in here. I mean, it doesn't matter if I've made too much, because if I can manage, I can make sure it tips back into the little pot, and I can use it on the bottom and the lid. I think I'll only need the one drop because it's only a tiny bit, that one. You have to have 2 pairs of hands to do this, or a little helper. Unfortunately, there's nobody in my area that's interested in doing something like this. I would have loved to have found somebody that had similar interests so that we could do it together, but never mind. I still enjoyed doing it, even all my mistakes, because it's all a learning curve. I hope some of you decide to watch my video, because I mean, I did one and I know it was a bit of a laugh and quite a few mistakes, but I enjoyed doing it all the same. But I didn't get any views on it whatsoever. But never mind. I'm sure one day somebody will decide to. Right, now I'm going to push my pot in. Hopefully it won't overrun, but I think that's exactly what it's going to do. So here goes. Yep. I'm not normally this controlled, so I'm managing quite well. I mean, UV resin is more expensive than the normal resin, but you really don't use a lot at all. I'm not very good at the small things because my hands are quite bad. Right, let's see what I can do. Now, number 1 pot and number 1 top. See how we go. It's a shame these pots aren't a little bit clearer, because I mean, it's hard enough to cure UV resin as it is. I made it just enough to go around. Right, I'm going to get my little cocktail stick and I'm just going to go so far down into the base of that, because with it being so delicate, I'm sure to get bubbles. I got one there. Hopefully I can bring them to the surface. I wouldn't care. I got all these things out yesterday, ready to do today. And what do I see on YouTube is a lady making the very same things. So at least I had a bit of a tutorial before I came to make these, which helps quite a lot. Right, I'm only going to use my UV torch to do these. Fingers crossed nothing pours out of here. Right, I'm gonna put you on pause while I'm curing these, and I'll bring you back when it's all done. Right guys, I've put the other one on to cure and I'm gonna do number 2. I've popped a little bit of green ink in this one rather than the blue, and again I'm using Let's Resin UV resin. Right, hopefully I should have enough without making a mess. I think, to be honest, I'm going to stick to the larger things because it is quite difficult for me to do these smaller things, and I make such a mess in the process. But I've had one attempt at a vase using peacock feathers. So I'm hoping that my next one will be another shot at that. I made a mistake with that one, and I don't think I stirred the resin long enough. So after a few days, it still didn't cure. So I ended up binning it, which was quite a disappointment. So I'm going to have a go at that again, and that will be a lovely one to watch because as well as the peacock feathers, I'm hoping to put little bits of dye in between, and if I swirl them, it should have a dramatic effect, hopefully. I think I'm about done with this resin, so I'll have to get another one out. Now it's starting to pour now. Fingers crossed I can get enough out of it to do this other little perfume bottle. It was a bit quite difficult to find out how much these take. With them being in two parts, you can't very well fill them with water unless you just fill one half and double it. A bit too much that time. No matter, as long as it can cure under the UV light, it should be okay. I hope I'm speaking clearly enough for you. Right, where's number 2 base? There it is. Pop a bit more in here. Looks as if I'm going to have to find a bit more, because this is just to say half full, which I think I'll probably do rather than the 3/4 that it tells you to put in, because the last couple of times I've done that, it's overflowed. If anybody's got any suggestions on the best resin that they think should be used, I would love to hear your comments. Right, see how I go with this? See, I mean, that was only half full, and I don't want to burst it open at the bottom, which I nearly did. Right. Now, another thing to be cured, and I'm just going to switch it off till I find some new resin. Hi guys, I'm back. Now I've cured all the little pots. That one's finished, and I've put a diamond on the top. It's one of my better ones. And again, that one, the bottom slipped out as it was drying, so that one's a little bit wonky when you stand it up. And I've put the little rose on the top. This one was just a complete little mould, so it's all at done all at once. So I fared a bit better with that one. And this one, the last one I made, hasn't got the bottom on yet. I've sanded all the rough bits down, and now I'm going to stick the bottom on, and I've made a few little things. I've made a little flower, a little butterfly, a little cross, and I've made a little bow, if you can see that, all right? Yep. Take that excess off the end there. So I'm going to glue the bottom on, but because I've got no UV resin left, I'm going to have to glue it on with the normal glue, E7000. So here goes. It shouldn't need a lot. Right, stick the lid back on there so that it doesn't get all fixed up in the end. Right, and I'll put the base down and I'll just push this over the base and hopefully it should go in. Should. Oh, with a little bit of brute force. That is now in. I don't want it to be wonky like my first one, so I'll have to force that in a little bit more. That's it. Right. Let's have a look. No, I think it's a slight bit too big, so I'm going to have to sand it down a little bit so that it fits in. Shouldn't take me too long to do this. At least I haven't got the sniffles last time. With my first video I had the sniffles. And it's not very nice to hear somebody sniffling all the time they're making a video. Right, let's see if this fits now. Fingers crossed. It'll go in. Not quite, a little bit more. Let's have a look. Yes, that's going to fit in a lot better. Right, have another go. Right, that should do it. So fiddly trying to get the lids back on these. Right. Get all the dust off. And here we go. That's much better. Trying to get it as level as possible. Yep, that's lovely. That's fitted in nice. Now I'm going to have to go over it with a bit of clear because where I've sanded it off, it's a little bit dull. Right, all I need to do now is glue the top on, and what shall I put on the top? Should I put a little bow or a flower? You can hardly see it, but I think a flower's going to be the best one. Right, get the glue out again. Pop that on the top. very fiddly. But it's done. Right, the flatter side will go on the top of there. Yes, I think that will do nicely. Oops. Oh, come on, come on, come on. In you go. Right. So, at the end of all that, I've got four lovely little scent pots. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. Thank you very much. And the next one, I will be using this big mould to make a vase with peacock feathers. So I'm going to look forward to that. Thank you very much for watching.